Hi everybody, Kevin here. Welcome to the Claremont Classic Garage. Today it's a little more Kubota love. What we're going to do today is install dual rear remotes on our Kubota, because what I'd like to do is I would like to have a hydraulic top link, and I want to have hydraulic angling on this blade for when I'm doing the snow. It makes things a lot easier. So I've gone ahead already. Obviously I've taken the blade off. I took the top link off. Now we're going to be working in there. So I'm going to see first how it goes. If I don't like the close quarters in there, I'm going to go ahead and take this wheel off. But that's a last resort, because these things are filled with calcium and they are a bear. They're just absolutely miserable to deal with. So hopefully we'll be able to just get in there and get this job done without too much hassle. So let's get started. First step is to remove this plug. That's the return to sump for the hydraulic circuit. And we have to remove, where's my finger? This little cap here, that's the actual hydraulic pressure. Then we put on our manifold, which goes in this area here, and we attach everything to there. Now, we're not going to lose these parts because it costs a lot of money. You're looking at about, in Canadian money, darn near $2,000 worth of stuff here. So if I, somewhere down the line, decided that you know, a B3000 isn't for me, I want to step up to a B2650. You can find those around, fairly late model with low hours on them. Well, all this stuff goes on them too. So you want to be able to keep your remotes, and you'll need this stuff to cap it back off so you can transfer your remotes to your new machine. My B3030, when I bought it new, I had the remote put on at the dealer, and of course they chucked this stuff away. Now I'm sure you can go into the dealer and buy this stuff cheap, but why buy it when we have it? It's free. We've got our manifold ready to install. This little transfer tube is for the retune. It's got an O-ring on each end. Just make sure you get a little grease on them so they slide right in. There's two O-rings here to seal this to the pressure side. And same thing, just a little grease on the O-rings. Now we can go ahead and jiggle this baby in. After kind of eyeballing and test fitting, it's very evident that I'm going to have to assemble the two valves to the manifold and then put it in there as one complete assembly, because the bolts for the manifold are pardon me, for the second stage of the valve are so long, I would have to cut a big hole in the fender here to get at that bolt. I guess I could, but to do that I have to take the tire off, and I'm just trying my hardest to avoid taking the tire off. So let's see how this works. So I've got this assembled up. All our O-rings are greased up. The bolts are just snug. They're not really tight, they're just snug. So in case I need a little jiggle room on this thing. And we're going to go ahead now and put the fittings for the hoses in. These fittings are O-ring based, so all we do is we pop the O-ring on, put a little grease on them, and wind them in and tighten them up. It only took a minute at 4 little screws to take the seat out, and that makes it so much easier to work in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the handles on, and then we can button up the inside. This is the rubber plug that was in the floor where the handles go, and you can see here they've got 2 knockouts marked. So we'll use our sharp knife and cut those out for the handles. Made short work of that. There we are. They're in and all set up. Now we just gotta get the booty installed, and then we can put the finish plate on top and the knobs. Although I may not do that till I start it up and make sure nothing leaks, just in case I have to take stuff apart again. Now we're going to install this bracket for the that the business ends of the remotes hang from. It goes up under the back of the body. Now we can go ahead and assemble the quick couplers to the hoses and mount them in the blocks here and get those installed. They give you little plugs. You got to remember to slide those over the hose before you put it together. You got one shot at that. And these ones are pipe thread into there. So the fittings come already with a round of Teflon tape on them. Very nice. So this should all go pretty well. So this connection here was a pipe thread. It's basically a tapered thread. So you use a little Teflon tape to seal it, and you basically seal it by tightening it. And the tapers jam into each other, and that's what seals the pipe thread. These ones here, you can see they've got like a valve and a seat almost, kind of. You've got two 45-degree tapers, and they jam together and seal it. That's how they seal. So you don't need any sealant on these. So we'll go ahead and put these together now. Before we install the hoses, we need to just drop these little clips over. That's what will hold the quick coupler into the block. This diagram shows the color code of what lines go where. Thank goodness they thought of everything. So I got to go ahead and get the top one done, which is the first remote, and then we'll put the lower one together, which is the second remote. Alrighty, now I'm going to go install them on the tractor. There's the first one installed, and loosely connected. I'm going to go ahead now and tighten up the lines. They seem to be okay. They're not rubbing on anything. And then we'll go and put the second stage up. Now I'll test them. You should be able to install these things by just pushing on them like that. And you should be able to get them out by just pulling on them like that. Perfect. Uh-oh. Hang on. It's hard. Let me put the phone down. So the bottom ones do indeed work. I just had to put the phone down and push a little more straight on them. So now what we can do is start the tractor up, and we'll just touch the control valves to get the thing to go into relief a little bit, and that'll tell us if anything leaks. I have to be careful because I'm missing a wheel, so we'll make sure we've got the parking brake on and the transfer case is in neutral. Okay, so we'll start it up and check this thing out. You hear the engine struggle there? It's going into relief. That's good. All right, so now we'll look on the ground for any leaks. And I see nothing. Good. That's great. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the wheel back on and get her back on all fours. And then we can button up everything inside. Hooray, back on all fours. Once I'm done with the rest of the job, I got to get my book out and look up what I'm supposed to torque the wheels to. I never remember. And I'll get the torque wrench out and make sure that's torqued to spec. Now we're going to go ahead and put the plate on the top. And I think there's a couple of decals to put on too. That little plate just snaps in and guides the valves. I don't like how that one grinds on the fender, but not much you're going to do about it, I guess. Now we can go ahead and put the two knobs on. So that one goes there. And then this one here goes right here on the back panel. I guess now I can put the seat back in and make it a lot more easy to use the thing. That's it for this job. On to the next job. That's it for now, I guess. Hope you enjoyed that. We all learned something about adding hydraulic remotes with B-Series Kubota. If you like what you saw, please go down below there and hit the subscribe button and the like button and leave a comment and share and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, oh, holy Toledo. Look out the back here. Can you see there's a pheasant running across the yard? You see him? Oh, that's funny. The stuff you see in Uxbridge. Anyway, that's it for now. Hope you'll tune in next time. This is Kevin checking out from the Claremont Classic Garage. Thanks and so long.